Welcome, dear viewers, to a new episode of Around Kuwait. I'm really happy to be here and, of course, talking more about our episode where we present for you varieties of topics, talking more about things happening in Kuwait and, of course, much more in details. With that, but before we continue, I would like to welcome with me in the studio my co-host in today's episode, Abdulaziz. Welcome, and I'm really happy to be here.
Happy to see you today. I would like to welcome everyone who's joining us through the KTV2. Today we have a new things to share with you about Around Kuwait. We have different topics to talk about today. Different fields. We'll talk about something about sports. We'll talk about we call the horsepowers, and then we'll move about different perspective. At the end, we're gonna have like an active colleague, Bassem. We're gonna share with you something important. So these about the three main things, but we're gonna elaborate more about this topic. Usually in Around Kuwait now we are in the celebration for the February. We refer to the State of Kuwait celebration because now we are after the raising the flag ceremony. We're celebrating now until the end of the February for National Liberation Day in our lovely country, State of Kuwait. Hiba.
Yes, indeed, and may God protect our beloved country and everyone, of course, when it comes into that, especially in these kind of events now we have here in February. We have lots of great outdoors event and lots of great offers that's happening for everyone in detail. So when we're talking about that, we have so many events that actually happened here in Kuwait, starting with one of the most important events, talking more about the rush, talking more about speed, talking more about Kuwait Motor Town, and of course the great representation that happened through the championship itself, the Saudi Formula 4 champion, and of course talking more about the athlete who participated, Sagar El-Marsharji.
And even in addition, we'll talk about something else. Now we are in the winter season. We'll talk about the events what's happening outdoor. Like too many things happening during the month of February, the month of celebrations. You will see there's events everywhere. We'll talk about the desert. They have certain activities, outdoor activities in any different locations. So today, winter camping season in Kuwait, embracing the nature and even the serenity. So talk about too many things: kashtas, camping, events, and good nature of the desert side.
Yes, indeed. And finally, we are going to have, of course, a beloved segment presented through Bassem El-Ayoub, talking more about, of course, different varieties of topics, especially talking more about the path of happiness. And I'm very sure everyone would like to know and hear more about it.
So these are about our three main topics for today. Let's go to this quick break. They will continue our show and we'll talk more about our report for our next. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and of course, starting with our first headline in today's episode. Now, we've known that the Kuwait Motor Town has been hosting the event that was presented, and especially talking more about the Saudi Formula 4 Championship. And I think one of the most exciting thing that happens, and of course occurs in the Kuwait Motor Town, is this amazing event. And I'm very sure people were excited, and I mean, still, let's say, remembering this kind of great event that's happening, and hopefully it will continue on happening itself.
With the participants of 15 racers from 10 countries all around the world. You know, like this kind of events competing, you will see the people who are very skilled in the horsepower, and we call it the laps and the cars and the tires. You know, it's like with the speed industry, you know, like there are different teams. 15 racers means 15 teams, like they are cooperating with the control room, how to change the tires,
Yes.
checking the flat, checking the atmosphere, checking the laps all the time. I know like this kind of races all around the world, and they are skilling in the, like the desert side in the GCC countries. You know, usually in Kuwait they are very flat in the desert side, desert countries. You know, like in KMT it's like a very wide area. So the experience they got from the flat countries and the certain tires they are doing and a certain atmosphere, it's different when you compete in a different continent.
Yes, indeed, and especially that when we're talking in details about the event itself, we know that it's actually been held, which consists of 5 rounds itself, and it held at different circuit itself. So we can say that it actually started with the first 2 rounds of the Kuwait International Circuit in Kuwait City, and then it was followed by the third round that was also being presented in Lusail International Circuit in Qatar, and then finally, in conclusion, it actually, let's say, reached towards the round that's been held in the field itself of Jeddah International Circuit. So you mean 3 countries, 3 different locations with 3 different environments, and at the same time, it is all connected with the rush and with the, let's say, speed, with the adrenaline being really high and the sound of the engine.
And also the teamwork, you know, like they have to do like something very quick, like a blink an eye. You will see like a very big teams, like they are behind the racers, you know, they are always communicating with the airbys, communication all the time just to check. And like on behalf of our show around Kuwait, we are congratulating the Kuwaiti champion Sagar Mausherji. He already the karting, the graduate claim, the junior title in 2023 karting championship, and he won that time in the Kuwaiti tour. So it's like now from Kuwait to Qatar to Saudi Arabia and Jeddah. It's a great opportunity, like he wins here. I wish him all the best to win for the other certain locations also.
Yes, indeed, and especially, you know, talking about that, it's very important to mention that he was actually secured the first place, as you just said and mentioned, in the category itself. And of course, you know, it's very challenging to be part of that and to have that first acclaim when it comes into being here in Kuwait. It's something very great and remarkable to be ahead when it comes into aside to his great achievements. And you know, it's very difficult, Abdulaziz, when we're talking about, you know, working in the engine world and having that very loud sound of engine and trying to, let's say, hear everyone and to have that control and cheering is very also challenging at the same time, because it's really difficult. But yet, if you have the passion and power and faith in yourself, you're going to reach, and that's what happens when it comes into him being participated in Kuwait.
So you mentioned like it's like competing with your challenges all the time, because they're always behind you or maybe in front of you. And also karting formula, you know, like this is the thing. So we spoke more about the Sagar Mausherji, how he already got it from the beginning, and now we'll talk more about, showcase more about his exceptional performance when he dubbed to the Kuwaiti racing, you know, international circuits. He qualifying in the 5th place in the starting grid for the 1st place, and then he moved for a different thing, and the Mausherji demonstrated his high skills on the track and surpassing his competitors, leading to the podium finishers. And then in the first race already conclude the Moroccan racers Sleiman Zanfari in then the 1st place. So you see, like we talk more about the documentary of Sagar Mausherji, when he competed, he won the 1st place. It's not easy, but you have too many dedication with a good team.
Yes, indeed, and especially, you know, having that kind of great experience itself in the field, you know, it's very challenging, especially that he's facing so many kind of difficulties, yet the pressure is very high. Talking more about the position of the places that he actually ranked when it comes into the position of the competition was very challenging. Maybe he wouldn't, let's say, I mean, I'm very sure he did want it and still, of course, claim the place itself, the position that he gained through the competition itself, but yet, as you just said, that it's still ongoing, especially that we're talking more about different kind of rounds. We were talking about the Kuwait round, we have the Qatar round, and then we have the Jeddah round, and I'm very sure it's very challenging, but at the same time very amusing, especially that when we're talking more about it in detail. Now we know that Al-Sharji actually finished the first race overall in second place and first place in the beginners, but you know, category itself. And I know this is something very great to hear and learn, but this is something, you know, that you actually gain within the performance itself and ongoing, and this is more of an experience that he gained, and hopefully he's going to achieve more and more in the future itself.
It's worth mentioning, let's mention the talented Emirati racer Hamad Al-Kubaisi. He finished the third overall in the first in the women's Hamda, and also sorry, Hamda and Hamad, but the Hamda. And we'll talk more about the races. It's not, we have also focused about the women empowerment, you know, like even the women's races are now, the demand is high, even in Kuwait in the GCC also.
Yes, yes, indeed. And you know, talking more about that, because we've seen so many women are entering the field of Indian, and they are firing the stage itself. To see that being presented, something very great, really proud of her great achievement, especially that she is talking more about Hamda Al-Kubaisi, the great Emirati woman who actually participated in the field itself. I mean, it's challenging, especially for a woman to say that out loud, because it's very let's say it's more of, let's say, I would keep my vote. It's more of a man's world, and to have one woman being participating in it, and to give the challenge and the chance for every woman to be to keep, let's say, history and to present it is something very great. And to know more about Hamda Al-Kubaisi, she's actually from a family with a long history, and let's say talking more about, let's say, single-seater competitor itself when it comes into the race, and to have that in her DNA is something very great. And I think that's why she acclaimed that great position, and of course her role and the acclaim of the competition itself. So it's very great to hear about that.
And we'll talk about her sister Amna Al-Kubaisi. So all the families are following the engines, you know, and the motorsports. It's a good thing, like they are already competes in the Formula One Academy, where Formula One is considered the premier motorsport category. So it's a good opportunity. We'll see like the GCC heroes, you know, competing in this kind of sport, and the demand of the GCC, the women are competing in the racing. They're going with a power engine. So power engine is for everyone. And now the high skilled participation for Al-Sharji and Kubaisi signify the growing performance of the GCC Gulf races in the international motorsport scene.
Indeed.
So we call them, they are our ambassadors in the sport. We wish them on, not only in the GCC, also racing and competition. I wish them all the best for international tournaments also. I know that we call the weathers and the labs and the categories are different. Maybe they will face high-skilled racers there, especially in the East Asia, in the American, Latin America, and Europe. But in Africa also they have good racing teams. But we are very believing in our team. They will do their best, because it's about here.
Yes,
you have always to challenge yourself, looking forward to yourself, and you have a good teams around you. We can say all the time, one hand cannot clap, right?
Yes,
so you have a good teams around you. You have to good communicate. You have to study the road well. You have to, because this kind of a sport, you have to always maintain your skill. You have to always stay focused in the goal. The racer have always to see in the front of him or who's behind him. I always studying the road and the team around him in a good team, like we have a good team here and around Kuwait.
Yes.
So we are just following the finishing line.
Yes, indeed, and especially that they're more of an icon, and for the future generation who would like to, of course, to let's say take more of this as a path for their career, and to deal with the love and passion about engine sport itself, because you know, we've never, let's say, been associated, especially within the last years. We've known and we've heard women being participated, especially when it comes into the circuit rings itself, being participated in the motor field itself. But it was very amazing to see their great achievement and their great performance when it comes into that. And also to talk more about the KMT itself, supporting this kind of event and presenting the opportunity for these players, these athletes, to actually be a side of it is something very great. Hosting this event itself is something very important, that it was held and being presented. I mean, I've been going around Kuwait and in different kind of areas, and I used to see the announcement and the advertisement, yes, talking more about the Formula 4, Saudi Formula 4 competition. It was very amusing to see that site itself, and to hear more about the competitors and with their position. I mean, talking about the Al-Sharji and Al-Kubaisi family is something something very great because they're more of an icon and representation for the future. You know, they start a little, but you never know what could happen when it comes into moving on forward. And these kind of competition will lead you more to level you up, to reach you to a higher rank in order for you to, you never know, could enter more of a global, let's say, competitions in that matter, and it will increase the level of the sponsors and people noticing you more. So this is kind of an opportunity being presented.
And also in addition, let's talk more about the KMT. We are very proud, like we have like in a certain like location, it's have like high standard and qualification in the international level. So everyone can compete in the KMT. If you want to do any certain events in the universal events, you can hold it in the KMT. That's why we are very proud to have the high standard for the qualification, so everyone can compete. And even you can see the industry of the engines and the motorsports are, like we say, around the world, it's big. And even the people in Kuwait, they are interested in this kind of a sport. You know, even in Kuwait, we have like people, women and men are interested in the engines and the motorsports field. You will see them competing all the time in KMT. You will see too many. We have like heroes. We have like people who compete in the high level. They have good sponsorship, very high skilled drivers, very good garages to compete, good people. The entrepreneurship for the kind of the industry of cars and the engines, and even the people for the motorcycle are huge in Kuwait.
Yes,
so
indeed.
it's a good opportunity. Like you will see this kind of people who are interested in the power engine, horsepowers, motorsport, cars, and even the formulas and the rallies, and these kind of sports are high demand in Kuwait, women and men. You will see them in Canada Dry Street. You will see them in the too many like facilities. They always try to do something new.
Yes.
They brought high engines. They are create something. They are very creative, and they are competing in the high level, and they are all by their own and supporting by the government. So we are very proud. And I guess this is our first topic for today.
Yes, indeed. I'm very sure everyone was enjoying our conversation, talking more about today's first topic. We're going to continue more about our second topic. So after this report, stay tuned to this.
وافتح كل شباب يجي اشوف النور ويبهرني حلا الكويت واشوف بلادي الحلوة جزاها النور ويشعل مشعل الانوار صحراء خيرها فيها جميلة شعب طيب سما زرقاء صحراء خيرها فيها ويا جنون الشباب يجي بشوف النور حماك الله يا بلادي وهي في حب حب الكويت مو عادي حماك الله يا بلادي وياك النور بشوف النور
We are back to our show again around Kuwait. Dear viewers watching us through the KTV2, we'll talk about something else, something referred to our culture, to our heritage. We mentioned this certain words, and now we are in the winter season. We mentioned winter, for sure we'll talk about keshtes, campings, farms, Abdili area, Wafra area. We'll talk about, the place for we call it for the horses
Yes.
places. So we have different,
Stables, yes.
Yeah, so it's like different locations in the winter season in Kuwait. Kuwait in winter season, especially they're celebrating also the National Day in the February. So in winters we have too many things to do, especially for this season. People going outdoors. We have different things to talk about. Let's pick something. Let's speak more about Keshta now.
Yes, so as you just said, keshta, which is a word that represents, let's say, camping, for instance. It's
In
more
Arabic?
Of the, yes, it's more of the great way that we actually spend winter. Though that we have lots of summer season, hot season, but winter, once, let's say, the weather becomes really cold, once we see the first drop of the rain, immediately all of Kuwait desert starts to flourish with tent, with camping site, and of course with much activities. Now we're talking about keshta. Keshta is more of, let's say, a micro of camping, where you actually go spend your time with the family, friends, having that kind of, let's say, campsite being presented, having specific small tents that is, let's say, adjustable to open and close easily. I mean, these are more of the activities that you enjoy exploring the country itself from different perspectives. As you just said, this is something that relates us to and connects us to the past, where it actually gives us more connection to nature itself. In this amazing weather, you're going to see all of Kuwait nature plants being presented, talking more about Nuwair, the
yes.
beautiful flower
Yellow.
that you actually see through the season itself, talking about different plants, talking more about, for instance, I'm not sure about the familiar name of it in English, but you're starting to see al-khumfasana being presented. So once you see these creatures coming out, you start to feel that this is spring, this is winter,
And the
we're
butterflies.
enjoying. Yes, we're enjoying our time.
And also, remember that time, even in the state of Kuwait now, there you see people, they are going keshtas and in the simple way, and maybe high luxurious way,
Yes.
like in the desert or maybe in the beaches, you will see keshtas everywhere. The
Yes.
simple ones, people just they're driving their cars and maybe just going in the desert, just brought simple tools to them just to enjoy the weather. But you will see there's like in a very luxurious and modern way. You will see big areas, people like they do their own campus and even their own keshtas. Big area, they are talking too many facilities, lighting, decorations, events they are doing in the keshtas. And even you will see something else also, that's worth mentioning. We'll talk about different events happening in the keshtas.
Yes.
And the preparation are different now these days. The events, the people going outside, you will see in the seaside, too many big events happening. So keshtas, it's like a simple to something about blood and our blood. They like to going everywhere just to put their simple tools. And we even, you will notice something. We have a travelers group, they're going to Mutla area.
Yes.
They go there just to check too many different the features of the desert side.
Yes, like we have so many features, as you just said and presented, and especially that even these kind of trips are being presented in that matter, because we've seen so many, let's say, trips that's happening here in Kuwait nowadays, especially when the weather is now really beautiful and amazing to go outside and enjoy. We have more of a climbing event. We have more of, let's say, the rope itself that you actually could sliding rope itself event, especially as you just said in Mutla area. It has many great features when it comes into being presented of the country itself. And also aside to that, we can see that a lot of people are enjoying the outside areas, enjoying exploring in that matter, but always reminding everyone that it should be aligned and of course aside to the all of the environmental status that is very important when you're talking more about, you know, trying to camp in the right areas, try to not damage the plants. If you find any plants, do not remove them, do not, let's say, set your tent on them, but try to find more specific let's say wide areas to present your tent and present all of your camping tools and supplies. And always try to be eco-friendly, try to always be friendly with the environment, because this environment was set for us to enjoy and to have this great moment. So always remember, set your site, campsite, set everything, and when you leave, always try to leave with how
Clean
you
your
came,
place.
like how you actually found it, clean, beautiful and healthy. Try to maintain that. But you know, one of the most important thing is, Abdulaziz, nowadays we have eco-friendly tools, especially when we're talking more about the dua,
And
talking
tools.
more about the call itself, talking more about how everything is now being adjusted, that once you use it, you don't need to throw it anywhere, because it's going to, let's say, get let's say absorbed itself, and nothing is going to damage and harm the environment.
And even it's worth mentioning, later we'll talk more about important topic about the Environmental Public Authority and Kuwait Municipality and the EMS, following the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Interior. These four governmental entities, they're doing an amazing role for supporting the people who's going to do desert activities.
Yes.
Let's go now. We'll talk about these four topics later. Talk about camping. You know,
Yes.
camping is like something in our blood and heritage. You will see the people who's interested in the desert side activities, not like Kashta camping. You have to stay there. You will arrange with the Kuwait municipality. You will pay insurance. You will
Yes.
take a certain location. Your implants. You put your tents and or your location. Just you have like a permanent location for all the winter season. This is why we call it camping in an official way. You have to
Yes.
take permission for Kuwait
Correct.
municipality. You have your certain location. You have certain tents. You will call it the hair tents or the normal tents. You do certain activities for your location. Every time it's a family gathering, the bachelor gathering, people gathering there, and they are enjoying the desert side in this lovely weather, the rainy time, in the springtime. They will see too many activities doing in camping now during these days. Too many things happening, activities now.
Yes, indeed, and especially one of the most important thing is to deal with is always to remember that when you come and enjoy your time, always to try to maintain it with the family and friends, because this is more of the time that you're going to have within the season itself. So you have to always cherish the moment and always find the correct time for you to go and enjoy and have fun with the family. You know what? One of the interesting things is, as you just said in the beginning, we have different types of kashta. We have the simple, we have the mediocre, and then we have the most luxurious. Now, when it comes into that, we've seen so many business owners being presented in that matter, and it's very great to see such a reviving way that everyone is actually coming up with creative ideas and activities. Talking more about people who like to drink coffee, we have these kind of cafes that have been presented, the ones that are, let's say, legit when it comes to that matter. So it's very great to go and support these sites, because in the end, these are more of an entrepreneurs who are growing and trying to create something very beautiful for you to enjoy with the family and friends, and to have a very great time at the site itself. And aside to that, one of the most beautiful thing is to do, for me, for instance, when we're talking about Kashta, is to go and be there. Let's say for me, I don't like it to be in the morning. I like it to be, let's say, from starting with the noon itself, talking more about 3 p.m. and so
Yes.
until, let's say, the sunset. And then maybe, let's say, we have more of, let's say, evening time, and then that's it. Like spending, let's say, 4 or 5 hours is something very great to enjoy at the moment itself when it comes into the camping side, and of course Kesha. So Abdulaziz, I'm very sure that we're going to talk more about that, but we're going to head to a break and then we'll be back with our viewers.
We are back to our show around Kuwait. Dear viewers watching us through the KTV2, we spoke about our second topic. We'll talk about the desert winter season. We spoke about kashtas and the camping, and even we spoke more about something important in the end. You mentioned about the young entrepreneurship. Let's mention about the food trucks in camping area. You know, when you have the road to go to the camping area and the kashta areas, you will see too many young Kuwaiti local entrepreneurship. They're doing something certain with their food trucks. Maybe they are serving coffees, teas with the teapots, certain like international cuisines. You will see different kind of cuisines in this food truck.
Yes, indeed. And to be honest, I'm one of the person who encourage this kind of business because it's very great to have this kind of great experience. It's always great to have different kind of, let's say, ideas from different kind of entrepreneurs, because this is something very important to talk more about, because, you know, we have different type of taste. People are different when you're talking more about Kuwait. And we know that Kuwait been, let's say, presented as more of a capital city of food. Therefore, we have different kind of cuisine, different kind of food. And one of the things that I faced during my traveling, let's say, experience is that when I go to different countries, it's very challenging for me to enjoy food, because in my country, we have the best food, to be honest. Therefore, wherever I go to enjoy my time traveling, I always miss food. So one of the activities that I really like is to find these food truck and to, let's say, pick the correct food truck for the correct, let's say, site camp, in order for me to enjoy spending my time with the friends, but at the same time to go and grab a meal and just enjoy our moment and time when it comes into that. So I think it's very great to have them.
Great, very great to have them. And when you go to the Wafra and Abdil area, we go to the farms, you will see them everywhere, and we're going to the farming road.
Yes.
Now we'll talk more about the Kuwaiti farmers and even the Kuwait Institute for Farmers. They are doing an amazing job.
Indeed.
And the Kuwaiti farmers, especially in the winter season, they do certain amazing activities during their farm.
Indeed.
And they are celebrating even the national days, and their farm, you will see the demand of the participant and the visitors are high from different perspectives. I know there is something famous names happening in Abdili and even the Wafra areas. You will go there, you will see too many big famous farms there. People, maybe they are doing their weekends there. They will have like all the hours there inside the farms. They go from this location to another. They have something nice here. They have different good activities there. So they have the good tour inside the farms. You will see very beautiful people taking good care of the farms. You will see the attendees from different perspectives, and even the amazing big companies are participating with their canteens there. You will see families are there, so it's a good family destination. When we are proud about the Kuwaiti farmers and even the way how to produce a good way of vegetables and even fruits.
Yes, indeed, and the way they market actually that kind of idea is very great and amazing to see that being presented in that matter. And you know, it's very affordable, and let's say talking about the entrance is really free, but for certain activities, you know, it's very great. One of the things that is really beautiful and remarkable to mention is, you know, the sunflower field itself, and to have that in this specific season is something very great. As you just said, even when you have these strawberry activities, come and pick up the strawberries that you like, especially when it comes into the kind of farms that they present that matter. So I mean, it's more of a great experience, you know, to have that and to enjoy. And I mean, they gave a chance for the citizens and audience themselves to have that kind of opportunity. Not a lot of us, of course, could own a farm, but a lot of us could go and enjoy this kind of experience. You know, it takes a really heavy duty and matter and responsibility when it comes into owning a farm and trying to, of course, create it and make it successful, as we can see through this great experience. But, you know, coming back towards campsite, talking more about, let's say, exploring the environment itself when it comes into the desert area itself. I mean, it's very beautiful and amazing. And we know, Abdulaziz, we've always heard that Abdili area is way different than Al Wafra area. We're talking more about the sand itself, the soil, how you can say it's nutritious for Al Abdili more than Al Wafra, and vice versa. And we hear people that say Al Abdili area is really colder than Al Wafra Wafra area.
Yes.
And you know, so many different conflicts and ideas that happens in that matter of sense. So you can see a lot of people who emphasize that Al Abdali is much fun than Al Wafra, and then you see Wafra people saying no, it's more fun in Al Abdali, and you will never know until you go and explore by yourself.
You have to explore, I have to see by your own self. It's a good opportunity. You will go to different locations, you will see like different farmers, and even we see young farmers now in Kuwait, they are competing there. Just want to enjoy the time to see the green area, you know, green wide area. Let's talk more about the kept area. We call it in Kuwaiti slogan kept, you know, this
Yes.
kind of, you see too many Kuwaiti famous horse riders. There's a good location for the horse people interested in to do horse racing, and you see people going there. Maybe they have certain pets, or they are interested in the animals and the birds. They are already doing there. They do it for agriculture and too many different things. Hiba.
Yes, indeed. And you know, one of the things that's very interesting is that we actually go towards horse riding. And this is the time where we actually start learning, because the weather is very great and you can easily go to Chabd and enjoy the weather itself, and also enjoy the nature itself. And I mean, it's more of an exploration place for everyone who didn't have the chance to explore, and to start to identify something new when it comes into them as, let's say, an opportunity, and of course as a way for them to actually enjoy their time. So of course, aside to that, you know, we have different kind of let's say vehicles, and too many people are actually using, let's say, the squid bike itself, where the four-wheel bike, especially when it comes into campsite, you will see these rental shops being presented with different vehicles for everyone to enjoy. And we have the two-seat car vehicle that's presented in the matter, and it's very amazing to see. You know, it's more of a tool for you to help you to go inside, because we know that the desert is very challenging and very difficult, especially if we're talking about women and entering the field of deserts. It's very difficult. You don't want to get stuck with your wheels in the sand itself. So therefore, you have these kind of vehicles that is presented for you to be rental, and you can enjoy it.
And that's why you have to mention the four entities I mentioned: the Kuwait municipality, and the Kuwait Fire Force, and the EMS, and the Environmental Public Authority, and the Ministry of Interior. All of them have different roles. EMS always focusing about the people when they have kashtas and the campings and the farmers. They are always helping people. Maybe something people have, they have some different disease. Maybe they face from fire. You know, this kind of people have the oil and gas. They put on in the fire, maybe something burning there. So EMS going there, maybe people suffer from the chronic diseases, certain flus, something happened to them, maybe they're driving for a long destination. Something will gonna happen in these areas, you know.
Indeed.
So these people especially would like to appreciate the people on behalf of our show around Kuwait. Would like to appreciate the people. I would like to thank all the people working in the EMS, following the Ministry of Health. They're doing like different checkpoints now, and they're distributing their points and their cars and their forces, you know, the peoples there around the Keshtas area in the north and the south side of the state of Kuwait. They're always helping people who is in need. Everything happens to, you know, disease.
Yes.
People have some of them diabetic, high
Indeed.
blood pressure, maybe something about fires and even more. So they are on need. And even Environmental Public Authority always give the awareness how to take a good care of the environment. We want to see this environment in all seasons. We don't want to destroy it, like you mentioned in the beginning. If you want to clear something, you have to make it clear. So I guess this kind of different topics, it's our second topic for today. Heba.
Yes, indeed. And it's very important to always remember to maintain the healthy environment that we have, of course, in order for us to cherish and keep it for the upcoming generation. We're going to continue, of course, dear viewers, but after this break, stay tuned with us.
Are you happy in life? Welcome to By Balsam segment. So today we are going to talk a very beautiful topic, and I hope all of you will enjoy the talk that we will have today. It's about happiness and how to think in a positive way which will affect your life and to make you more happy and excited also. So if we talk about happy life, what we mean about it. Being happy, the main thing for being happy is being healthy. So the same thing that we do in our money, when we invest our money and we find a good opportunities to invest it and to increase it and to get a very good business with it. So it's the same with our health. We have to also invest in our health because this is the thing that will last with us. Health is something very important, very crucial, and you cannot live a good living without a healthy lifestyle. So, first of all, take care of your health. Second thing, take care of your mental health. And you have to make sure that you have to focus on your mental issues when it happens, the circumstances, sometimes the depression, sometimes we have a hard time, sometimes we lose a lovable people that we are really close to them. It happens. But the thing is, how can we get over those hard times and continue our life? So this is what we call it mental toughness. You have to be aware of your emotions, you have to concentrate on yourself, and you have to think positive. The third thing, we have also to understand that if we invest in our body through exercises, we will have a very good and healthy body for the future. You invest in your bones through exercises. You invest in your body through the healthy food and the active lifestyle. And if we're talking about a normal lifestyle where we want the person to exercise during the week, 150 minutes during the week, it's enough. It is not needed from you to get ready for a marathon. What is needed from you to have a routine where it increases the level of the healthy body that you have. The fourth thing that we also have to concentrate on, the breathing. As much as you concentrate on your breathing techniques, and you can go through YouTube and you will watch a lot of videos where you will find the right way to do the breathing techniques. It is very important. And if you breathe in a good way, most of the people actually they don't concentrate on their breathing. So if you concentrate on your breathing and you use this as a daily lifestyle from day one when you wake up until you practice it, until it becomes a very important routine in your life. Other point that we have also to concentrate on is positive people surrounded by you. Choose your social circle in a very selective way. You can be around, you will be definitely around a family member, a friends that you love, definitely, but maybe you will find one of your friends, he's not really positive and he's negative all the time. And we believe that he's your friend and you will never let him go away. But you have to make sure that you will never have the chance to change him, because this is his personality. It is so hard to change people, but you can explain to him that you have to be more positive, you have to change your way of thinking, you shouldn't be really stick to your negative thought, because this is something really will affect you in a very bad way. So concentrate on those few tips and make sure that you practice them every day, and I ensure for you that those few tips will really create for you a very high level of a healthy living, and wish you a healthy living, a happy living, and all the best.
And we're back, dear viewers, after the amazing segment that was presented through Bassem. You know, again, it's very challenging for a person to evaluate what makes them happy and to find the path of happiness. But in the end, if you are a person who wants to reach that level and to be more satisfying about your life and about yourself, you have to believe in yourself and believe in your abilities, and always to focus positively on that.
You have to stay positive, you have to be optimistic, you have to certain your goals. Would like to thank our active colleague Bassem Al Ayoub for already providing to us about different important tips how to be going through our first and better path. And you have to be always mental health. You have to be strong. You have to always talk to yourself in a better way. You have also to overcome about negativity. This is important, Hilbert.
Yes, indeed. You know, talking about that, we have lots of people, unfortunately, they find joy when they think about, let's say, being negative in that matter. So hopefully for the negative people, try to always be positive and never be aside to, let's say, that. So, I mean, we reached towards the end of today's episode. In conclusion, talking more about our headlines, starting with the Saudi Formula 4 Championship that was being held here in the KMT, and of course, for the participation of Sagr Ma'sharji.
And even in addition, we spoke about the winter camping season, what's happening in winter. We spoke about the kashtan, the camping and the farms, and everything happening during the winter season in the state of Kuwait, especially in the month of celebrations.
Yes, indeed. And always remember to keep your environment healthy and clean and to maintain it in that matter. And finally, we talked and knew more about the tips of the path of happiness with our colleague Bassem Al Ayoub.
Path of the true happiness. So these dear viewers about our topics for today. Hope you enjoyed our segments. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching us. See you next time. Have a good day.